Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Craft Eccentricity, and we are up today with the first part of the AlinaCraft house build. So this is what we're going to be building, and we're going to take as many days as is required for my filming, because of course I can't really upload a 2-hour video, and I refuse to edit it because if I make any errors I want you to see them so that we can correct them. So this is day one of this house build and I'm quite excited about it, I have to tell you. So here goes. I'm just going to leave that off in the corner, and as explained yesterday with the haul, it comes with instructions, so I'm following from the top all the way down. So today we're going to be doing this section, which is called the house base. We're going to be doing the internal bulk section, which will need to attach to the base. And as you can see, the two end sides, these are for the drawers, but the two end sides have windows, which means we have to, I'll scoot down to here, you'll see there are dies for cutting out the windows. So we're going to have the layer pieces and the inside pieces for that. So let me explain. Right, here goes. We have got two of these. So don't get confused. There's another one similar to this which has two holes in it, or shall I say two squares cut out in it, and that is for the roof. Okay, so for the base section of your house, 3 apertures. You're going to cut 2 of those, and this is the colour I'm choosing, a nice icy blue. So we've got 2 of those. Then for your sides you're going to need 2 of these. Okay, there's only one piece in the die set that looks like this, so that's nice and simple, and that looks like that. Now you can see that you've got windows, so we need to layer those up and do those before we glue anything together. Now onto the base you're going to glue these, and the base section is this large die here. Now the base of your house is larger than the base of your drawer section, because your drawer section base is going to glue onto this. That's the way that I am interpreting it, and you're going to need 2, because one is going to go at the base of your windows and one is going to go at the top. So you're literally going to be enclosing it, which is why it's important to do the windows before you do that. And there's 2, one for the top, one for the bottom, and then you get 2 side trims. Now I cut mine in blue, but if at any time I want to change the colour of them, I'm going to glue these on blue, but I can go back and cut another colour and just glue another colour on, and that won't matter, and it will just add to the sturdiness of it. So it's 2 small and 2 large that you cut for those. Now the drawer base is, as I said, it's slightly smaller than your house base, so keep those separate. So this one is slightly smaller, and you're going to cut 2 of those. So you're going to be making it nice and sturdy. There's 2 of those, and then you get the bits that pop them up, and there are 2 of those. 2 small you're going to cut, and 2 long ones you're going to cut. And that is what we have here, 2 small and 2 long. I'm trying to do this bit as quick as possible. And then you've got your windows that go on the side, and there's 2 windows either side, so you're going to need 4. So you're going to need 4 of that die, and you're going to need 4 of that die. Now this one is double purpose because it gives you a fancy little narrow trim that will go over your window, but the bits that pop out of here will glue onto the back of your window. So I'm just going to share that with you. I'll just show you one of them. I've got them all on my desk here. So that is your window. That is your fancy little trim. I've gone lemon and pink for mine. I'm hoping to be able to use my American Crafts digital pack bundled up as elements all over it. And then from this, once you've taken your trim, which is this, you're going to get a little square and a little what do you call it, half circle. Yes, so that when I flip that over can be the bit that blocks that section out. Now if you're using vellum, go ahead and use vellum or acetate. I just don't want to see my drawers coming in and out, so I'm choosing something solid, but when those are glued on, they'll glue on properly and they'll be on there. So the first thing that I want to do is show you how to glue on a window. Now I'm moving my drawer base out of the way because I do not want to get confused. So that's going over on my desk on a little pile. I'm going to move those over to there. I'm moving this one. I want to make sure I don't lose my dies. And we're going to work on the window section first. So I'm just moving everything in order out of the way. Okay, so here is our window base sections. So important to decorate your windows before you glue it all together. I don't need my pickup tool, so I'm moving that. Right, so onto the back of here. This is all going to be sealed in. You're not going to see it. So I am going to glue my cream pieces on first. I'm using art glitter glue that I've got in my little AliExpress bottle here. And I'm hoping it's going to work. I'm just going around the edge. So what I'll do is I'm going to show you one window and then I'm going to run away and finish the other ones. So we've got that, and now we're going to pop that on. You want to make sure you've got no daylight showing through it. So let's flip that over and have a look. You see that is solid and that glue is going to dry, so I'll just swoosh it with my finger. Get it off my paper because I don't want to glue anything down onto there. And then we're going to put the back square on. So once again, all the way around. Just enough glue so that the solid piece doesn't warp within the frame. And then I'm just going to scrape that up there. Try and grab onto that glue. And honestly, it doesn't matter if you're straight on this section because it's all going to be hidden. So there you can see, now we've got a nice solid window. Now I can see that I need to move down slightly on that, so I'm just pushing that down with my finger. Oops, might need more glue on it actually. I'm wondering if I actually glued it the right way around. No, I didn't. So it's not a perfect square, it's slightly rectangle. So I've just adjusted mine because I had a little gap. Make sure you don't have a little gap. So we've got that now, and our window is solid. But as I said, if you're using acetate or vellum, that's what you're going to pop onto the back there. Right, the next thing we need to do is our lovely yellow piece. And if anybody has any further questions on this, do feel free to ask. If you've got any input, feel free to put that. I've searched the YouTube and the internet, and there is not a tutorial for doing this. So I am the first. And if I make mistakes, then, you know, do forgive me. Because this is the first time I'm doing it. So I just want to make sure. Now, if you want to do anything fancy, now is the time to do it. You know, if you want to add a little bit of snow or glitter into any of those apertures there, now is the time for you to do that. And I will actually do that. When I'm finished, I'm going to put a little bit of glitter, a little bit of glue, a little bit of glitter, so that my side is frosted up. So that is the first part of the window. Now I'm going to pause and vanish and go and complete the others. Okay, so both of those are done. And you can see I also added the little pink trim on top. Now it's at this stage that if you want to do something decorative in the window that you should do it, and I want to. So I've got a piece of paper here to catch all my bits, and I've got my glitter glue, and I'm going to use some diamond dust because it's just lovely and chunky. Now remember, it's real glass. I always have to say that because I would hate anyone to get hurt. So I'm going in with a little bit of glue. I think this bit's called the transom, I'm not sure. And before that glue dries, I'm going to sprinkle on some diamond dust. Ooh, I've got a little dark piece in there. I don't want that. Get that away. Yeah. And I'm just going to give it a gentle tap down into that glue with my finger. And while I'm here, I'm going to do the other one. And I'm going to be doing exactly the same thing on the other one. And as I was saying before, I don't really want these videos to be too long. I just want people to be able to take what they need from it to be able to do it. So I'm giving that a tap as well. I'm just going to flip that all onto there. Well, you can see what these look like behind, but you're not going to see that. It's all going to be stuck inside the box. So we've got a little bit of glitter going on there. And I'm just going to rest this back on top because I want to do these. So I'm just going to squiggle down at the bottom edges. Now you'll notice in these windows you've got a square space where you can add numbers. Now I am not going to be using numbers, I'll tell you that right now. Because I want to be able to use this for myself, I'm going to choose to put little bows there. There is little bow dies and heart dies and all sorts of things. You do not have to use the numbers. So that's what I intend to do. And then I'm just going to tap that into the glue. And then tap that off. Just give it a flick to get rid of all your loose bits. And so now we've got sparkly frosty windows. I'm going to do exactly the same thing to the other one, and I am going to be right back. Okay, so I've done these and now we've got two of them and they're all sparkled up with snow. These are the side pieces of the house box, and we need to do the drawer sections, which are the front, and of course we cut two of these. So I've used basil cardstock, which for all intents and purposes, you know, cards and tags, it's absolutely fine. Now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking about my humidity and the fact that it actually goes that way around, that drawers are going to go in and out, and I'm thinking I'm spending my time making this and I want it to be a lot sturdier. So I am going to go and cut two more of these in heavyweight white cardstock, and I'm going to cut them off just before the score line so that I've got strengthening panels to put onto the back of these. So I'll go and cut those and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went away, cut two more of these and trimmed off these scored edges here, so all the way around. So now I've got two panels that I hope will fit into that. Excuse me just a minute, my dog wants to go out. Right, I might be confused as to where I was. Right, now on these pieces we've got our score lines, so we want to go along. I usually do it very gently with my fingers, especially if I'm using a cardstock that's got a linen effect, which this one absolutely has. So I just usually go along, find it with my thumb, and I'm being a good girl today. I've got my bone folder, so I'm just going to go along there and crease it. Going to do exactly the same thing on the edge piece here, and then I'll be able to see if those white pieces that I trimmed down are going to fit in, and if not, I will go and trim another little bit off. So we've got that one, and then you've got this side. When you've usually got something that's close to an aperture, it can be a little bit tricky to do, so support your aperture while you're doing it, and just go along very gently with your finger until you get it where you need. Like I'm holding this center section here so that there's no chance I'm going to crease it, and then I'll hold it there and then just go along, find your score line with your fingers, then you can lay it down and very gently just find it and then just go along. So we have done that bit, and now I can see if one of those white pieces is going to fit in there to give it a little bit of support. So here it is, and let's see if it slots in and still allows movement of all those scored pieces and nothing hanging out of the edges, and it does. So I can smooth that down now, and I can glue this piece in. Now obviously I want to be able to glue it in so that it's not showing on the other side, because if it does, it's actually narrowing your drawer section, because you need to be able to get your drawers in. Right, just cap my glue off, and I'm going to flip that over, and all I'm interested in is lining it up with those blue squares, making sure that there's no white showing. Just move it along. I mean, not everybody has terrible humidity like me, so you won't have to do this. You'll be able to go in with your regular cardstock and you'll be absolutely fine. But because I want mine to last for a bit, and you know, when you've got drawers on things, you tend to open and close them, and I want to be able to do that for a while. Right, now I have got extra support on that piece. That is solid, and I can see that I'm straight. It might cast a shadow on the camera. You can see the white, but it's not, you know, interfering with where the drawer is going to go. So now that piece is nice and supported, and I did my score lines. You can see it does not interfere in any way. It's trimmed down enough, and now I'm just going to run away and do the other one, and I'll be right back. Right, so those are done, and they are lovely and sturdy. They're going to last me a few years, so I'll be able to pop that in a box and put it away and get it out at Christmas time for a number of years. Just nice and solid now. Now, at the beginning, I showed you the trim pieces that go for the side, which is the frosty window, and also for the trim for the length of here. And I said if I was going to change the colour, I would, and I did. So I'm going to move my blue ones out of the way. And I have cut them this time in pink. So I'm going to have a pink trim onto the base there, which is where the drawer is going to go. And so I've got two of those for each of those long bits. And if I just reach across the desk for the sparkly windows there, you're going to have a pink bit that will go onto here. Now, because alignment can always be an odd thing when you're sticking things onto the base, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these all in one big long line first, and then when I've got my long line, I'll know that I've got these on straight so that they match corner to corner. So the first thing that I need to do is find the edges on this one, and I think the frosty windows are dry enough to do that now. So once again, just tease it, hold it at the back. That's how I hold it. Just tease it with your finger. Just go along, and then once you've found that, you'll be able to go along with your bone folder, just supporting it all the time. Can you believe that? My dog just barked to go out, and now he's barking to come back in. He saw a huge amount of crows in the garden and got very excited, bless him. So going up with my bone folder, I've got that edge. I'm just going to do that again with my finger. I mean, you watch my videos, you'll know a lot of the time I don't use one of these, and I'm quite happy just to use my fingers, but I am trying to be good. So I'm just going along here, making sure that I've got it. And there we have that one. And then I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other one, and then I'll come back. Okay, so these are all folded, and I'm watching my clock, and we're over the 20-minute mark. So wherever I leave this today is where we're going to take off tomorrow. But first I want to glue my sides together. So I'd already scored along there, so I've got my nice straight lines now. And you're going to take a straight edge to a cut edge. So we're going to go like this. And obviously you want to line your bits up and get them absolutely straight. And you want to glue before the score line of this piece. If you go onto the score line or over the score line, you're not going to be able to fold it. So the first thing we need to do here then is pop some glue down on this. Now you want your corner to be nice and secure, so you know, a little bit of glue, a little bit of extra, it's just not going to hurt. So now I'm taking the side, and we are going to line that up. Now I'm hoping you can see exactly where my score line is, because it should look like a little creasy bump in the front. If not, I'll pick it up and show it to you. See that? Which allows it to do that. So make sure that you're going just in front of your score line. Now, because of the space that my camera allows on my table, which is, you know, just under 12 inches, then I'm going side to side. But what you just saw me do there, I'm going to do exactly the same with the other piece, and I'll be right back. Right, so those are both glued, and you can see that one folds and this one will fold. Now I'm just going to move one out of the way while I apply the trim onto this one. Hopefully you can see this. Just move my paper around there, and I'm going to put the skinny trim on first under the window. I'm just going to go straight down the middle. Now if you've got any fancy little bits of Dresden, which I have actually, then you can totally put those on and they're going to look fabulous. So I'm going above my crease line, and I'm hoping that I'm straight. Let's have a look at that, because I've actually committed. So I am there. And now I can see where to go along for that one. And I'm hoping I can move that one down as much as possible. And then the long one will go on. And then I might run off in a second and see if I've got a little piece of Dresden trim to hand. Now, you want it to line up. And you also want it to be straight. So I'm going up a fraction there. And then I'm looking at how it is with my window to make sure that it's straight. And it is. So now we've gone along there and it's straight with that side. I'm just going to pause a second and see if I can find my Dresden trim. Right, so I had a look at my Dresden trim and the pieces weren't quite long enough. So I found these gold stickers that I've had for years. And I just went rummaging through my box and I think they're long enough to do it. So I'm just going to peel one off. Hopefully they will still peel off, because as I said, I've had them for years. And they're really fine and delicate. Let's see what we can do here. This should be fun. Just want to go down on the bottom. I'm going to line that up with my pink edge. Fiddly things, but they are easy to peel up and re-stick if you make a mistake like that. See, I'm spending a lot of time now tiddling and whittling. But you know, if you want to make something your own, sometimes you just have to play. So I'm going to fix that. And I'm a little bit short on the edge, and as I say, these do peel off again, so I'm wondering if I'm going to or not. And if you're going to do it, it's got to be smack bang in the middle, so I'm not going to do it. So I just wasted a little bit of time there, but it's always better to have a look, isn't it? Right, so the trim that I've just put onto there, I'm going to do onto my other one, and I'll be right back. Right, so I also felt that with the base, I was going to run into the same problem because of my humidity with the sides. So in heavyweight white cardstock, I've cut a second one. So my blue will go to the outside and my white is going to go on the inside. But that is just going to make the base of my house nice and sturdy. And then once I stick this on, we are going to leave it at that for today. All of the pieces that we've made today will be on my desk ready for tomorrow, and we will go into part 2 where we will put what we did today onto the base. Just going to tap that down, move things along. So I've got a nice solid base that everything's going to go onto. Just slide it. There we go. I wasn't absolutely accurate here, but that's okay because I can just run my guillotine across that. So that is going to go to the inside of the house, which the two pieces will go on like this. So that will get glued down like that. Hope you can see that. I'm going to push that in. And then of course the same will be for the other. But you can't put this on, I don't think, until you've done the base. So that's the base for the drawers, the first bit that I showed you this morning. So we're going to come back tomorrow and we are going to complete this. But I'm just going to leave everything on my table as you see it, so that it will just be a continuation on. Right, I thank you so much for joining me today. I hope it was explanatory. If it wasn't, please do put your comments below. Have an absolutely awesome day, and as usual, all links below. Bye.